So what was up with your solo act at Jake and Liz's wedding on Saturday? At the question, Detective Cole Taylor stifled a groan. He did not want to start his week by rehashing his brother's wedding, especially with his colleague Mitch Morgan, who had gotten engaged to his sister at said wedding. What do you mean? He didn't look up from his desk. Maybe if he acted busy, Mitch would move on. I mean, where was the hot date you usually bring to social events? Coming alone had been a tactical mistake, one Cole had recognized 5 minutes into the reception. He should have brought someone, anyone. With the woman on his arm, he would have avoided all the kidding from his relatives and the questions about when it was going to be his turn. The grilling had gotten so bad, he'd taken to hiding behind some potted plants and drinking champagne. Lots of champagne. I wasn't in the mood to bring a date. Yeah, how come? Mitch settled onto the edge of his desk. So much for getting rid of his future brother-in-law. Resigned, Cole forced his lips into a cocky grin, swiveled his chair, and folded his hands across his stomach. The pickings were slim for that night, and I'm particular. I want looks and intelligence. Since when? That wasn't exactly a rocket scientist you brought to the party at Doug's house 2 weeks ago. That sounds like something Allison would say. Cole's grin morphed into a frown. Did my sister put you up to this? Nope. But she was surprised you came alone too. You know, I appreciate how everyone is taking such an interest in my social life all of a sudden. He laid on a healthy dose of sarcasm. But trust me, I have it under control. I'm glad to hear that. I wouldn't want you to lose out on the chance for wedded bliss. Cole snorted. How do you know it's going to be blissful? You only got engaged 2 days ago. Because I know your sister. He grinned at Cole. And if you need more proof, ask Jake when he and Liz get back from their Bermuda honeymoon. Standing, he stretched. So, you want to go get some lunch? No, too busy. Want me to bring you back a burger? No, I'm not hungry. Mitch shot him a surprised look. You're always hungry. Big breakfast. He waved his colleague away and swung back to the desk. I'll hit the vending machines later. Out of the corner of his eye, he saw Mitch hesitate, cock his head, then with a shrug his fellow detective walked away. Finally. Once Mitch exited, Cole leaned back in his chair and stared at the photo on his desk. A family shot taken at his mom's birthday party not long after Jake had returned to St. Louis from a stint in Iraq with the U.S. Marshals Special Operations Group. It had been just the 4 of them since his dad died 6 years ago. But now there was a sister-in-law to add. Soon there'd be a brother-in-law, and not long after that, Cole suspected nieces and nephews would come along. His sister and brother would be busy with their families. His mom lived in Chicago with her sister now, not that far from St. Louis, but far enough. He'd be the odd man out. And playing the field was starting to lose its allure. Annoyed by a sudden empty feeling in the pit of his stomach, Cole straightened up. Must be a case of wedding-itis. It was hard not to think about the lack of romance in his life when he was surrounded by cross-eyed lovers and the air was filled with matrimonial vibes. But if it was supposed to happen, it would. No sense fretting about it. No sense missing meals either. Debating what to get for lunch, he stood, snagged his jacket off the back of his chair, and slid his arms into the sleeves. Maybe he'd take Mitch up on the burger offer after all. If he hurried, he should be able to catch him at the elevator or in the lobby. But he only made it 2 steps away from his desk before his phone rang. As he paused, it rang again. You gonna get that or what? Luke Adams looked up from a computer screen at an adjacent desk in the shared office, his expression frazzled. The man was a stellar detective, but he hated computers. And Cole didn't relish being the outlet for his irritation. I'm getting it, okay? Luke grunted and went back to hunting and pecking while Cole returned to his desk and picked up the phone. Taylor, are you in the middle of anything? At his unit supervisor's clipped query, Cole sank back into his chair. He was now. Nothing that can't wait. Good. I need you to talk with a woman whose father died 5 months ago. We ruled it a suicide.